Welcome to the Experience Today, where we explore the fascinating intersections of mankind.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to this. This is the first episode of 2026 for the Experience Today. I welcome you. I am your host, one of your hosts, Mr. Roderick Threets, and my lovely, astute co-host. I think she's the host of the show. I'm just the backdrop. Miss Valerie Zinn. Happy New Year to you, ma'am. How you doing? How things down there?
Happy New Year, and things are just fine. Tomorrow is my born day, so
That's right.
I get to not have to cook dinner. That's all the good stuff. I don't have to cook dinner, just for the dog. I have to cook for the dog.
Right on.
Yeah, he doesn't know. He doesn't know it's his birthday.
Crapola.
Exactly. That's what you get a lot of with a German Shepherd.
This is true.
and with all the people running this country, a lot of it. I mean, I don't think we have anything to talk about today, do we? No.
No, not at all. No, never.
No, we could just relax and, pretend we're Democrats. Actually, if we pretended we're Democrats, we'd be screaming and yelling our heads off. Because everything Trump does is wrong. That's all. It's just wrong, no matter what it is. We figured this out years ago, so this is not news. I wanted to just read Truth Social from last night that he put on, and probably a lot of people read it, but I just got a kick out of it because I read his Truth Socials like about 1 o'clock in the morning. So maybe my sense of humor is a little off at that time, but so he wrote last night, Minnesota's corrupt governor will possibly leave office before his term is up, but in any event, will not be running again because he was caught red-handed along with Ilhan Omar and other of his Somali friends stealing tens of billions of taxpayer dollars. I feel certain the facts will come out and they will reveal a seriously unscrupulous and rich group of slime balls, in capital letters. Governor Walz has destroyed the state of Minnesota, but others, like Governor Gavin Newsom, J.B. Pritzker, and Kathy Hochul, have also done, in my opinion, an even more dishonest and incompetent job. No one is above the law. I have to sit back and ask not only myself, but everybody, haven't you figured out yet who you're going after? Don't people see that every time he does something like this truth last night, he's telling you all the people he's going after next? And if you don't see what he just accomplished, never mind Iran, and look at what he just did, which in my opinion is kind of like multitasking genius. Because if you look at everything going on in our country, and then you look at everything going on around the world, this military operation that we are watching, to me is beyond amazing. Whether going forward we succeed in everything or not, I still find it amazing that this one man is saving all these countries in the world and eventually zeroing in, as we can see from his truth last night, on all these narcissists, maniacs running our country. So, he's showing everyone not that he's See, because if you look at Smooth Operator, right? I was listening to Sade's song today, Smooth Operator. And I said, okay, so, Diamond Life, Business Lover Boy, License to Love, the whole like James Bond thing. You could look at Trump that way, but he only flaunts it in what the media produces. When you actually meet him, he's not like that at all. And I've had the good fortune to meet him many times and to see him in his real presence. And he's quite the host. He's funny, he's interesting, he's warm, and he's very caring when you meet him in person. The media has him depicted, and very successfully, because look at all the people that hate him. It was a successful operation by the Democrat Party. It was intentional, it was mind control, and they've succeeded. And that's what we are dealing with right now. Our successfully indoctrinated counterparts. And there's really, in this moment, there's no way to go back on it. So I've been listening to some military channels, the guys that were in intelligence and, older fellows that have been around the block. And they were like, I never saw this coming. I never saw this coming. There's artistry in that. The fact that, I guess anyone in the military knows you got to keep your trap shut, right? Because if anything gets out, the leaking would begin and no operation would be successful. And I think, Hegseth and Trump and Rubio and the people that were running this whole operation definitely knew that. They know how vicious the press is, and he's very aware of the hatred he has in his back pocket. But it's okay. He keeps going. And I think he's, I'm a big Trump fan. I grew up in New York, and I'm a big Trump fan. I don't hide it. I don't have to cover it up. I don't have to act like, yeah, I understand why you hate him. No, I don't. I don't. So I want to know, I was thinking, okay, so who really are the worst of the worst narcissistic smooth operators, or so they think. See, this is what's interesting about a smooth operator. Let's see, we could definitely look at Obama, right? I mean, he had it made. He had it made in the shade. He could just do whatever he wanted. He was laughing it off. He was screwing the public, and everything was just going sensationally well. His story will be coming out, I'm quite sure. Clinton and Epstein, yeah, they were smooth operators, for sure. And now, we've had Castro all these years, a successful smooth operator.
Yeah.
Maduro, I don't know how smooth he is. I mean, I just saw this guy recently, and he seems like a mad, wild animal to me.
No, he's smooth. I mean, Maduro. I mean, look, he's so smooth, right? That no one contested his power.
That's right. That's right.
Well, I mean, there's no nicks in Nick, right? There's no Nick in him.
Okay. And so then we have Trudeau and Macron, and I forgot the African leader's name that was in the Oval Office with Trump recently. Who's killing all the farmers in his country.
Oh, what's his name? The South African president.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
They're all smooth operators. They think they are.
Right.
And then you've got Waltz and Pritzker and Newsom and Hochul. And then you have this little guy who's just a little mayor in New York City that thinks he's going to be president of the world.
Mm-hmm.
So, they all are operating under being smooth operators, or so they think. And it just blows my mind that they don't understand that Trump is not about my dog's bigger than your dog. He's actually about saving this country. If you look at his age and you look at his wealth and you look at everything he's earned and had in his life, he doesn't care. He's almost 80 years old. He doesn't care to do anything but the right thing. And if only people could even absorb 1 ounce of that, they could come out on the other side of this. But I'm not expecting anybody to. But I don't understand how these Democrat politicians don't see that they're going to be in the same boat as Maduro, as, Cuba is going to be in the next, I think, the next hit, because it's so connected to Venezuela. He's cutting off their oil. As if those poor people haven't suffered enough, I just might say out of my heart. I always feel bad for the people who are living under these obnoxious, disgusting, narcissistic, sick politicians. And that's my overhead on who they are and what they're doing. Trump is an anomaly. He's a once in a lifetime come along to have the strength to do what he's doing. And it's his personality. He lets it all, and we got to give that to him, because I couldn't do it. I don't think you could do it, Rod. We get very upset and frustrated and angry. He gets angry, but he lets everything roll right off of his shoulders, and he keeps going. And I so admire that. To me, that's a smooth operator. That is the definition of a smooth operator, not someone who acts like a conceited buffoon and knows that what he's doing is evil. But it's a joke because he's getting away with it. So Wayne Allen Root did a little writing today that I thought was pretty straight up and on the mark. And he says, Trump gave communist Nicolas Maduro a taste of American justice. American justice. But here is a case for arresting Democrat politicians and judges inside the USA who are even bigger threats to America. You think? Look at the judges. And he talks about them all the time. Do they think they're going to get away with this much longer? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. The stolen election. Today was January 6th, and I have to say they did, RAV presented a reenactment of January 6th, kind of the correct way. And Ashley Babbitt's mom was talking, and the people that are still out there roaming around, Captain Byrd, who shot Ashley Babbitt for no reason inside the Capitol, and he got promoted and he's still running around. Enrico Tarrio was on with Steve Bannon today. I mean, all the January 6ers have been in our presence in the past couple of weeks, and it's really like there's still people who have not gotten complete pardons from this horrible injustice. It's all coming out. I mean, I feel really positive about the next few months, because there's no way the media can successfully cover this up much longer. Aside from the fact that most people are not listening to them really well anymore, they've figured out that they're full of shit.
You know what? I keep having hope that you're right.
Yeah.
But the deep psychosis hold they have over these people, right, is disturbingly disgusting, like to the point where it drives people to do shit that they wouldn't do under normal circumstances. It's almost like Jim Jones all over again in our country. I mean, when we have people in our country that will stand 10 toes down that international law trumps the U.S. Constitution, I'm sorry. You're not only gone, you're out of the fucking galaxy, out of your mind. Your extreme TDS, we're going to call it, PTDS, post-Trump derangement syndrome, right? Yeah. It's so bad, right? Literally, it's so bad that you would throw away your own country's founding document to get on the knees of a global conglomerate that doesn't wield any power, right? The only power they wield is of the freaking mind, the fear-mongering and the cognitive dissonance they create. I want people to clearly hear what I'm saying. If you're that person thinking international law trumps your own document, I'm sorry, you might as well, and I'm going to use the sovereign citizen argument, right? You might as well, right? You might as well apply yourself under maritime law at that point in time. I mean, let's go. I mean, you're already there. You know what I mean? You're disregarding the document that gives you your sovereignty to a global conglomerate that means nothing to you. And please, people, also understand international law technically is a treatise, right? It does not supersede the Constitution of the United States. Even in the UN Charter, under Article 2.1, it tells you under the Domestic Imposement Clause that it does not. But you fools out here with your derangement fail to read or learn anything. You just think international law can just come do what they do in their country. I'm sorry, what? What?
They don't know that. They don't want to know that. And Rod, what I think you're missing here is that these uneducated people have no power.
No.
They have no power. So I think what we need to focus on is that right now we have the power. And the power is coming from knowledge. We've had this discussion. The more you know, the more power you have. These people are going to fade off into the sunset one day. They're not going to be able to maintain this level of insanity because it has no relevance. I was reading today this wonderful, well-written article in American Thinker, and it's exactly what you're saying. For decades, power has been expected to apologize for itself. This president did the opposite, and in doing so, exposed how hollow the reigning orthodoxies have become. Narco-trafficking, jihadist financing networks, and political repression were not unfortunate side effects of governance in Caracas. They were the business model. International law, as currently practiced, did not restrain that model. It protected it.
Yep.
That is the core failure President Trump is addressing. See? So this guy says sovereignty in Trump's formulation is not a magic incantation. It does not absolve a regime that empties elections of meaning, criminalizes opposition, and funds itself through transnational crime. Maduro's government perfected the art of using sovereignty to drain democratic accountability from politics. Borders became excuses. Constitutions became props. International law, instead of challenging this fraud, provided it with cover. See? what you just said is what has been happening. But you have to watch this being taken out piece by puzzle piece. It's going. Trump sees this. He sees this as clearly as you do, Rod. He really does. He's got good lawyers. He's got good people behind him. Everyone is presenting him in this moment with super relevant information, and he's acting upon it. And they've been taking the good that we've all been, and they're blowing it. And they're going to get weaker. This is the bullfight. This is the bullfight. And the bull, the fighting bull, what happens when you watch a bullfight? The bull gets weaker and weaker and weaker until it just falls over. And the matador wins. Trump is the matador. I'm just saying, if you're not there, you're going to get there, because this is very intense what's happening in front of our eyes. Trump's realism cuts through this with a bluntness that unsettles those invested in the status quo. He does not mistake talk for governance or consensus for legitimacy. He understands that deterrence requires credibility, and credibility requires a willingness to act. When U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says, when this president makes a statement, he means it, the observation captures a shift that extends beyond rhetoric, meaning it is now policy. Don't get weakened by these people. Don't get weakened by these idiots, these punks that are trying to be James Bond out there. They're not. They're not. You know, if you look at relationships of people, you know, the cool guy that's got all the women and he kisses all the women and he's conceited to all hell. What ends up happening when he gets to be with one woman? It doesn't work out. Then he gets to be with another woman. It doesn't work out. It just keeps, you know, it's a failure. It's an operational failure. And until that person, and it could be the one person, it could be a whole giant country of people, that person eventually has to go inside of themselves. They get so weakened by constantly being beaten like the bull. It never works. I mean, I have to look at, like, you know, all the regimes in our sight that have come down and gotten crushed, the good ones, I mean, like the Hindus and the Tibetans and, you know, the poor people in Ukraine, all the countries where people just have to run. It's going to spell itself out that everybody goes back home, and we're going to have some level of peace established on this earth, on this planet. And if not, then God's going to come and take us all out. So we may as well think positively. We may as well go at this with the knowledge that we have. Watch the bullfight. Mm-hmm. All these guys, let's see, we've got Maduro was a Marxist and a communist. So are 90% of the Democrats. So
right.
He's coming down. Right. Maduro hated America and capitalism. Mm-hmm. So do the Democrat politicians and judges. Right?
Right.
They're coming down. Maduro was on the payroll of drug cartels and making money from drug trafficking to USA. So are Democrat politicians and judges. Let's see. Cuba, Mexico, Venezuela, South America is going to be very interesting because then we have Colombia. We've got poor Bolsonaro sitting in a prison. This is all going to get rectified. Watch it. Watch it. It doesn't take a week. It doesn't. Some of this stuff is going to go on for a while, but eventually, even the horrible senators and Congress people we have, they think they're going to beat this matador. They're not gonna. They're not gonna. Look at this. Look at it hard. Don't give in to these weak idiots. Don't give them your energy. It's just feeding into a cancer. It's just not what you need to do. Our energy has to be preserved to give the positivity into what we're seeing, into what's happening. It's really, really good. Mm-hmm. There's so much good happening. You know, I hear people, oh, I didn't vote for this. Now look, we got wars all over the place. Yeah, and just take one goddamn look at who started it. Not Trump. He didn't start any of it.
Yeah.
Okay. It's important to stay on the mission, stay focused on what we're actually seeing, what's actually going on. And it's so good, and it's so positive. And look, just like God, things don't always happen in our timing. But I have a very strange feeling. Let's see, silver hit $80 an ounce today. Mm-hmm. Stock market is higher than it's ever been. You know what? There's going to be some tangible items that are going to be ours. And our currency right now, I don't know who would not have faith in Trump in terms of business and finances. If you don't, then go live in New York City because you're about to go live in the subway or in the tunnels. You can have the Lincoln Tunnel, you can have the Holland Tunnel, you can have the New York subways because that's where you're going to be. And that's going to be your only free ride because you're going to have to stay there. And now that he had to raise the fares that he promised for free, let's carry that information over. Okay, that's just him. He's a punk. He's a young punk. And if anybody doesn't see and think for 1 second that Donald Trump is watching that boy, that punk boy, like a hawk, that's his city. That's where he grew up. That's where he has children, houses, buildings. Oh no. Just get a kick out of it. Just laugh. Because what you're going to see come down is just going to be like, you got to be kidding. You got to be kidding.
Right.
Okay, you just got me on my favorite topic anyway. I'm really, it's just been, I'm not depressed about all this. I think this is just amazing. I'm watching the best James Bond movie I've seen in a long time. Diamonds Are Forever. Remember that. They'll always be there in the ground. Oh, and speaking of in the ground, listen, Venezuela, not only oil, they've got gold, they've got minerals. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And who needs all that stuff? Let's see. China, Cuba, USA, Russia. Don't you see how brilliant this is? I'm just I'm gleeful. I don't give a hootenanny what all those stupid, ignorant, Democrat, whatever you want to call them, strange creatures who took too many shots, who, Listen, too many shots. Look what RFK is doing. He's changing the whole blanket of vaccinations for children. Now, it's just the beginning. Wait till he proves that none of them have been proven safe. He's just biting the beginning of the bullet now.
Right. Right.
It's all good. Really? Election? Oh, election stuff has been absolutely better than an ice cream cone. Stolen elections. We talked about this last week with Tina Peters
Right. Yep, we sure
in
did.
Venezuela. And those machines. Hi ho, hi ho. It's off to work we go. Yeah. Listen, we got to get excited by this. We got to be the cheerleaders for our movement to save this country. We got to stop fighting. Listen, I'm on Facebook and people in the Jewish groups. How could all those Jewish people vote for this idiot in New York? Have you ever considered that they didn't? Have you ever considered that he was placed there and they've stolen the elections just like they stole ours? Wait till the truth comes out. Obama was a plant by the CIA. You think his baby mama was the woman you saw in Hawaii? Nobody ever saw her pregnant. That's not his mother. His mother was in Pakistan, and she was part of the CIA, and he was raised to be who he was. Come on, people. Everybody get together and love one another right now. Yeah. I'm living for this time. I am enjoying this time like nobody's mother. Stay focused on the mission. Don't pay attention to these idiots out there. They're just going to go away. They're going to melt like the evil witch in The Wizard of Oz. I'm melting. That's what they're going to be doing. They're going to be melting like the Wicked Witch. And then maybe we'll see Soros and his son get kind of sort of called out. That's kind of on the back burner now, but it's happening.
Right.
Mm.
I mean, I look at this, right, and you know everything you said, and you know the things that I, you know, on the backside of all this, right.
Mm-hmm.
What I see, what I see happening in this country, in this nation,
Yeah.
is the fact that people are going. These I don't know, whatever you want to call them. We call them post-Trump derangement syndrome, whatever you want to call these people, right? Mm-hmm. They won't have a choice but to heed to the success that is happening.
Right.
Right. They won't have. You would have to have an extreme case of cognitive dissonance, which unfortunately people is going to happen, and it's going to cause people to do things that are inhumane,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because because they've already shown us throughout history they will do this.
Yep.
We're not even going to include present day, but we've seen through history,
Yes.
right, how these people are going to act when the will of good, right, it has presented itself abundantly amongst the people, amongst the nation. These people will do everything in their might to make sure, one, you don't see the good, or two, live to see the good. This is the same thing we are seeing with these dumb-ass United Stadians protesting to release Maduro. Like, it's already bad enough These
They paid protesters.
it's bad. They could be paid, but still the narrative's being pushed out there, and they took the money, so they ethically they are still at fault. I will hold them accountable every time for taking the money to subvert this nation that we created, right? Sell out their country for $1. You got to be a bitch to do that.
You know what?
Right?
They're partying.
But
I don't think they think of it as selling out their country. They're partying.
Well,
They don't know what they're doing.
I look at it as them selling out because they're presenting the narrative to low subpar IQ people that are jumping on board.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's my
course.
problem, right? So at the end of the whole thing, right? As these people sit here and protest, right, to replace a guy, right, that has subjugated brown people, the brown people of his country for a decade or two, right, to put him back. Again, these are the same idiots, right, that still uphold slavery in the United States, aka we need illegals to pick our agriculture. These are the same people. There's no way anybody can explain this to me any differently. They love the subjugation of brown people, and they will stand on it even in the United States. It's not only hypocrisy, but they're showing you their hand and what they're doing. Brown people ain't shit. This is why those protests that they're doing ain't a single brown person on the pro side of that. It's fucking derangement at its best, and it's sickening. I mean, even down to the lower levels where we've seen the videos where they don't think brown people like me can get IDs. Like, this is how deep this shit is. The psychosis around this is so real, it's like brain rot. But we're educated. We're the most educated. I got a master's degree. Yeah, you got your master's degree. You don't have your degree. You have your master's degree. And we see it on these campuses, right? You're going to protest for behalf of brown people against, quote unquote, the white supremacy of Israel, at the same time talking about subjugating brown people to this country. Like, the brain rot is fucking real, and God even says, those of you that believe in the Bible, understand the Bible, right? Every mouth will profess the truth. You won't have a choice when it comes down. Then where you stuck? Where are you stuck? Not between a rock and a hard place, between fire and brimstone is where you'll be stuck. Because at the end of the day of the whole thing, you subjugated your fellow man, or I'm saying you sold your fellow man out to subjugation for $1, so you can, as you, Ms. Val, said, they're out partying for.
They are.
This, I gotta shut up.
Okay, so they don't come up with anything new, all right? This is history repeating and repeating. It's the threat to our democracy, racist, Nazi, fascist, insane, authority, traitor. It's the same shit all the time. Why would we? They've been holding up signs for the past 2 years. Free Palestine. Let's Sharia law. Let's come on. How do you take this? I can't take it seriously. My mind just has shut down. I am no longer giving the whole scene any power. The power is in me. The power is in all of us that trust in God, the universe. We don't need to see this. You know, think about this. Unfortunately, are you there, Rod? Oh, okay. No, because I heard a click in my ear.
Oh, no,
Unfortunately, most of these, I will call them younger people. I'm not, you know, sometimes you see older people in these rants and raves, you know, they're hippies, they're old hippies, whatever. You know, they just pull all the weakest of the weak people in. I'm looking at not the not so much the millennials. There's a certain age group that I have a lot of faith in, the 18 to 26, 27
Which
age
would
group.
be 18 to 26. What right now would be Gen 18 to 26 would be Gen Alpha. I think that's
Okay.
I think that's Gen Alpha, if I remember correctly. Is Gen Alpha? No. Well, hold on. 18. You said 18. 18. Okay, no, that would be Gen Z. That would be like your late,
Okay.
your earlier, your elder Gen Z is what you're kind of targeting, because
Okay.
Gen Alpha started 2010, so they would only be 16 right now. Their oldest would be 16. So.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I'm talking about the next level up.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they are waking up, especially as all this information, COVID affected them in, I guess, high school,
Mm-hmm.
junior high school. They're starting to wake up, rub their eyes open, and see what the world has turned into. They're our hope. But this generation that is out there with the signs and partying like idiots and celebrating, they hate America. I think they've been so weakened on a level, not only in terms of not only in terms of the vaccines and the mind control and the media control, and they're just gonna melt away. They don't have any power. They've been eating all these horrible foods. They know nothing about nutrition. They've been taking these vaccines. A lot of them are sterile.
Mm-hmm.
They have health problems, and they're out there holding these signs and getting paid off and taking vaccines for burgers. They have no power over us. They have no power over God. They have no power over goodness.
Mm-hmm.
You really owe yourself like a blanket that doesn't see this anymore.
Right.
Because as we don't see them anymore and take them seriously, it just becomes like a fly that's annoying you, or a bunch of mosquitoes around your head that you just keep whipping away. It's
Right.
nothing more than an annoyance. They're not going to really succeed.
No.
We are going to succeed. We are.
Yeah.
I know this. I know this.
Mhm.
This is not even, I'm not making it up. I know this. It's in my heart, it's in my gut, it's in my soul. I know this. Trust me. Trust me. If there's anything you're going to trust me on, you just watch the next year or two, and our minds are going to be blown. Because we're going to watch their minds get blown. And they're going to have to accept what we're doing, what we're accomplishing in this world. And as Trump builds up the world to get stronger all around us, then the tumor that's inside of our country is going to shrink. You have to see this as a whole wheel of what Trump is doing, and it's brilliant. It's multidimensional and it's brilliant. Praise God. Really, really, really. I don't hear those words anymore, racist, Nazi. I don't hear it.
No, you don't hear it because you're distracted with the new current thing, right? Remember, and again, right, the derangement, right? Let's look at the derangement a second. I don't want to look at anything else but the derangement, right? We've gone, right, from holding up, watch this. We've gone from holding up the Ukrainian flag to the Palestinian flag to the Venezuelan flag.
Right. From the white hat to the black hat to the red hat to the green hat.
Right.
So
It's like it's so
pick your
crazy.
color.
Like you know the thing is, and you know this as well as I do, right? Psychosis is not a thing that you can predict, but I'll be damned, this psychosis is more than predictable. It's like they're saying this is exactly what we're gonna do and when we're gonna do it. Just wait. And all we do is wait, and bam, it's in your face. Like they weren't lying. Like,
Well, you just have to protect yourself. We just have to be protected.
Since when did psychosis come with projection? Like I'm looking now, like I'm seriously, I have one of my APA books sitting here right now, just reached and grabbed it, and I'm looking at psychosis and the clinical definition of psychosis right now, and I'm like, there's nothing in here. Any of the traits of psychosis is not projection. So what are we doing? Like, where are we at?
We're not giving it power.
I know not giving it power, but I'm just it's baffling that this psychosis has projection as a trait. I'm just saying.
Everything the Democrats accuse us of is what they're doing.
Right. Hello, that's my point. The projection and psychosis. I don't know.
I think there's a reason you're my baby brother, because I need to tell you, number one, to calm down over this. You gotta calm down over this. Everybody does. It's just not to be taken as seriously. You see, if you listen to this all day, you could get really freaked out. If you turn it off, it's like turning the mainstream media off. And, you know, Bannon shows these clips every morning, and that's to the extent that I see this. The media is freaking out right now. They're having to start reporting the truth. And once that happens, it's just going to slip away. As the Soros thing comes out, as the illegal elections come out, the stolen elections, as the truth about January 6th, and by the way, RAV has an amazing documentary on the true January 6th that everybody should check out. The truth all comes out, it doesn't matter whether these crazy people listen or not. And yes, they are going to do stupid things. The Wild West, people died. In the Revolution, people's houses got burned up. They died. This is what happens in a revolution. We are in a revolution, but we also have the option of making it joyous.
That's right.
Let's be in a joyous revolution. For every day we're alive, and every day we get to watch this unfolding. It's just going to be spectacular. It's going to be Nassara Jassara. And I don't know about anybody else. I'm not paying taxes. And I'll say it on the radio. They could not happening. I asked my accountant many years ago, what would happen if we didn't pay income tax? Oh, he said it would take about 7 years for them to come after you. Well, I think in 7 years, it'll be gone. He's going to do it. Unless they don't pass tariffs. I mean, I don't know. I think they're going to. He's bringing in billions and billions and billions of dollars. How is the Supreme Court going to say you can't do tariffs? How stupid could you be? I mean, we're taking in so much money now, we're not going to have to pay taxes anymore, except maybe when we go to the store.
Right.
And that's fair. That's okay. But this torture, they're gonna come get you. They're gonna come in their gear and shoot you because you didn't pay your taxes. Nah, no. Why would I want to pay my taxes to give to the Somalis who are ripping us off in Minnesota? To Newsom, who's building a train to nowhere. Why would I want to pay taxes into this? It's too insane right now. I'll pay my taxes when it makes sense to me.
Right. So here's the
knows?
thing, right? Here's the thing, right? Even when it comes to the IRS, right? And I shouldn't say
Yeah.
this out loud, but I read, God, this was probably 2 or 3 years ago, 4 years ago, that the audit rate. Listen to this: the audit rate for incomes under 400,000 is between 0.1% and 0.4%.
Hmm.
Think about that a second. Less than it's 0.1% they go after.
Hmm.
Right? Income over $1 million. You know, I'm gonna look right now. Hold on. I'm gonna look right now. I'll tell you right now. Hold on.
And they all have R's next to their names.
Okay. I found it. It was
Okay.
actually in my history from 3 years ago. I don't delete my history for this reason.
Okay.
So yes, it is 400,000. The audit rate is 0.1, from 0.1 to 0.4%. Incomes over 1 million, the audit rate jumps to 2.5% to 3%. Incomes over 10 million, rates can exceed 8 to 16%. And the IRS is currently using new funding to triple audits on the ultra wealthy. Right? All earned income tax credit claimants can see around 0.8%. And then that's it. That's how. So literally, like, they're only auditing the people making over $1 million a year, because again, that's the majority of the tax revenue, right, for the United States.
Right. That's right. Bill O'Reilly talked about that years ago. And it's a small percentage of the people paying all the tax.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, I also don't. Well, now they're doing away with Social Security paying tax. I remember my parents telling me we pay tax on social. I said, what?
Yeah,
That doesn't make any sense, right?
it doesn't.
I really feel strongly that people that are senior citizens should never have to pay income tax. What the hell? They're not working anymore. Maybe some are, but not that many. Let's assume you're not working anymore. What you have is what you've worked for all your life. And if you invest in, let's say, bonds or stock market, or you have savings, you have to pay income tax on that, and your house that you own.
Yep.
This makes no effing sense at all. So there's a lot of chipping away at these blocks that has to happen. And, you know, I see a huge shift in income because in my mind, the bond market is dead, absolutely dead. And here's something interesting. If you live in New York, I think it's New Jersey, New York, and Connecticut, 3 states, you can only buy bonds in those 3 states. Here in Florida, if you invest in the bond market, you can buy bonds anywhere.
Right. That's right.
So bonds that you own in those 3 states, dead, gone. So think about all the people in those states that are well-to-do and own bonds in those states, wipeout.
Right.
It's going to be a wipeout.
Right. We go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that we're gonna see some changes and some shifts that are going to be really, really interesting. And we have to stay positive, and we have to support this mission. I don't want to see anybody getting down and crazy and caught up in all the garbage. It's going to go away.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. We've came to the end.
Okay.
I do want to, while we're here in this space right now, and you know, we can't let history fly by itself. Those of you that know who Ava Slosh is, she is the stepsister of Anne Frank.
Oh, I saw something.
She passed away yesterday. She
Really?
she passed away yesterday.
Oh, she had to be high 90s, huh?
96.
96
years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Fascinating.
Just put that in perspective. Any of you that are listening out here, right, that want to deny the Holocaust, want to do this free Palestine stuff, we still have people alive that survived the Holocaust
Yep.
in the United States.
Yep.
And to act the way you do in this current matter concerning Israel, Palestine, Gaza, whatever, is completely distasteful and disrespectful to people like Ava.
Yep. It's godless. It's soulless.
I mean, this woman lived with this agony for 80 years.
Yep.
80 years she lived in the agony, knowing her family and her and her sister, even though she didn't die actually in a gas chamber. She died from typhus, but still the fact she was in that concentration camp and she had to live 80 years of her life knowing what these evil people did in this world, in the nation they call Germany. And for you guys to have the audacity to act a fool like this. I hope one day, and I say this loud and proud to everybody, I don't give two shits. I hope you people that are protesting and all this dumb shit and saying all this anti-Semitic shit, I hope motherfuckers spit and stomp on your grave. Like you spit in the face of these living Holocaust survivors. I hope they spit and stomp on your grave. Maybe even dig your shit up. Because I don't give two shits about it anymore. If you're going to be disrespectful, right? If you're going to be that disrespectful, then guess what? You get what's coming to you.
Yep.
Because you guys are the same people, as I mentioned earlier in the show, that are selling America up the fucking river for $1 so you can get drunk on the corner with your compadres or your communist friends or whatever the fuck you want to call them. You get all the smoke, all of it.
We have to give Rod a new drug called Fuck It All.
Fuck it, something. Anyway, we got to roll out.
Fuck it all. All right.
Thank
all right.
you.
Good night, everyone.
I appreciate y'all. Remember, y'all, do the things. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And remember, love your neighbors, love your family, but ultimately, you got to love yourself.